I'm running to serve Pennsylvania. He's running to use Pennsylvania. And let's also talk about the elephant in the room. I had a stroke. He's never let me forget that. And I might miss some words during this debate, mush two words together, but it knocked me down, but I'm going to keep coming back up.
Hello and welcome, everybody. I hope you're all having an excellent day. Today I wanted to get into a little bit the John Fetterman fiasco, as I'm going to call it. And if you're not aware, John Fetterman is a senator from Pennsylvania and ran in the midterms against Mehmet Oz, won by a very, very slim margin. I think it was less than a point. But John Fetterman recently has suffered from a stroke. And obviously strokes are very serious and you need the support of your friends, your family, all that. And you need a long time to recover. Some people never fully recover. And some people are lucky enough to, be able to. However, it does appear that maybe running for the Senate is probably not the best way to take care of, your health, especially when you've suffered something as serious as a stroke. And John Fetterman very recently has been diagnosed with clinical depression, and he is now being treated for it. And this comes really after he's only been on the job as the senator in Pennsylvania for, a couple weeks now. It was just the passing of the mantle just happened, a little over a month ago. So without further ado, I want to get into this clip real quick that kind of explains the situation a little better than I can.
Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman taking a temporary step back this morning after revealing a struggle familiar to millions of Americans. The lawmaker, still recovering from a stroke, checked himself into a hospital after being diagnosed with clinical depression. Fetterman's office revealing that he met with the Capitol physician on Monday, who suggested he seek care at Walter Reed. His chief of staff saying, quote, "While John has experienced depression off and on throughout his life, it only became severe in recent weeks." Experts say depression in the wake of a stroke is very common.
It is the most important and most frequent psychiatric complication from stroke. Many patients will experience depression.
Fetterman's announcement comes a week after being hospitalized for lightheadedness. He returned to work days later after a battery of tests revealed no physical problems. The senator has auditory and processing issues related to last year's stroke. He uses a tablet to participate in hearings and communicate with staff, similar to what he used in an interview with NBC's Dasha Burns last October.
It's really just how things happen because I sometimes will hear things in a way that's not perfectly clear. So I use captioning, so I'm able to see what you're saying.
While his doctors have said he has no cognitive issues, the impacts of the stroke appear to have taken an emotional toll. An aide telling NBC that the depression symptoms he is dealing with now are, quote, a very different beast than what he was dealing with after the stroke last year. His colleagues and family rushing to his support.
So yeah, you've seen that, heard that. And I don't want anyone to think I'm throwing shade here at John Fetterman. I hope he does have a speedy recovery. I hope he gets all his cognitive functions back. I hope he can, be healthy and, live a good life. Nothing for the best for him and his family. However, when you're in the public hot seat and you're a senator, the issue is going to become, and it's going to crop up, it's trending all over Twitter right now. Is John Fetterman up to the task of being a United States senator? He's battling clinical depression. He is still recovering from a stroke. And probably being thrust onto the world stage is not the best thing. And I know I cut that clip off a little early, but there's a bunch of tweets from his wife, Gisele, saying how strong and brave he is. But I would think if you really love your husband, you probably wouldn't thrust him onto the world stage to run a very rigorous campaign, because that's probably not going to aid his recovery process. And especially when you're going through bouts of depression, and I can only assume after recovering from a stroke, you would want your family by your side to help you through this troubling time. But it seems like his wife Gisele has done exactly the opposite of that. And as we're going to get into right now, John Fetterman's wife Gisele Fetterman says family forced to flee to Canada to avoid media circus over depression. So, you would think, hey, this guy's depressed. He's going through a lot, but his wife and his children are in Canada right now. So we're going to get into that. The family of Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman described how they fled to Canada to escape a media circus over his severe clinical depression. Mr. Fetterman, a Democrat who won his first term last year while still recovering from a stroke that nearly killed him, checked himself into the Walter Reed Medical Center near Washington, D.C. earlier this month. Now his wife, Gisele Barreto Fetterman, has said that the media attention pushed her to take the couple's children and drive north into Canada on an impromptu holiday. And I don't know, that just sounds to me like you're more worried about your own personal faculties than your husband who's recovering through a stroke. You should be there to support him and give him aid. He probably needs it right now more than ever, but hey, it is what it is. I'm not really sure how to navigate this journey, but I'm figuring it out slowly, said Mrs. Fetterman in a tweet on Friday. 1 week ago today, when the news dropped the kids were off from school, media trucks circled our home. I did the first thing I could think of, pack them in the car and drive to another country. Sounds reasonable, right? I mean, why answer questions from the media when you could flee, right? And I don't want to give her too much slack. I don't know her, but from the things I have seen, she doesn't seem like she's that good of a person. I don't think anyone who's going to make their husband run for a senatorial seat while they're still recovering from a stroke is that great of a person. But that's just my take. Let's continue. We talked about lots of hard things and how we will have to face hard things, about the need to be gentle with all and with ourselves. Sounds like word salad. We did some scary things, but we just did them together. We ziplined over Niagara Falls, and our son, August, got stuck. That's unimportant. Let's keep going down. Aides have said that Mr. Fetterman may remain in the hospital for weeks, suggesting that his depression may have been stoked by negative experiences during his election campaign. It's almost like somebody recovering from a stroke probably shouldn't be doing a campaign to be a senator. And there was a big thing about that. Sorry if you just heard the truck drive by. Sorry about that. There's a big thing saying that Fetterman's faculties are definitely 100% going to recover. But from the limited knowledge I have, because I'm not a doctor and I don't even play one on TV, but from what I know, nobody's really ever too sure with a stroke. The brain does have amazing ways to repair itself, but I don't think anyone can be 100% sure this person's definitely going to recover all their cognitive functions. This person definitely won't. I think it's more of a wait and see type of thing. Mr. Fetterman faced numerous attacks from Republican politicians and pundits claiming that his stroke had left him without the mental fitness to fill the post, sometimes in vicious terms. And that's definitely true, but you are running to be a senator, so you do have to have all your cognitive functions in place. So his primary care doctor said that he has no actual cognitive deficits. Sorry, I can't say that word. But suffers from auditory processing problems that mean he often needs captions to understand how other people speak. Which is essentially just he needs a computer in front of him, as was shown in the news clip before. And I think I'm just going to kind of leave it at that. What do you guys all think about John Fetterman? People of PA, I would really be interested in your comments. Anyone from PA, watch this video. Please leave a comment with what your take on this is. Like I said, I wish the guy a speedy recovery. I hope he, all his cognitive functions return. And I don't think he should be under the stress that he's under right now. And I would also question, not to be ableist, but if he's up to this job to, take on a seat in the United States Senate. But that's my 2 cents on it. Hey, if you like the video, leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you want to hear more stuff like this. And if not, thank you for listening this long. And I guess I'll see you all in the next one. Later.